Hello, and welcome to GameRomp Easy Mode. This is an easy-going podcast where we're just going to chill and talk about games for a while.
Yay.
I'm David, and...
I'm Deanna.
It's been...
A little bit.
Yeah, we took a week off for the holidays. Although I did not take the week off from playing video games.
Of course not.
I played a lot of video games. Actually,
I would expect nothing less from you.
Have you continued playing Don't Starve, or did you put that down?
I think I basically put it down. It's just, I don't know. I'm not good at it.
It's hard. We discussed it was hard.
Yes, and I'm easily frustrated, so.
Did you play anything else?
I have played a little bit of a new game that came out in early access called Town to City.
Oh, yeah. We played the demo and talked about the demo a few months ago?
Probably like a month or two, something like that, yeah.
I liked the demo a lot, actually.
Yeah, so I ended up buying it. And, I mean, I guess, I don't remember how far into the tiers the demo got.
The demo, I think, was only the first stage. Apparently there's multiple stages or
scenarios, I guess you could call them. Yeah, basically that idea.
Yeah, the game's called Town to City, so I figured it was just a city builder, but it seems like...
It has both. It has little scenarios. So the demo covered the first one, which is just the basic town mechanics. You build the houses, you build the stores that they want to go to, yada, yada, yada. Well, the second stage that you can obviously unlock in the main game brings in the concept of farmhouses. So you start off with, I forget which resource you start off with. I think, you unlock grapes first, because the grapes come free and the winery comes free. Which I'm kind of surprised, because you think winery is like a luxury type of item, wouldn't be free, but hey, whatever. And you build the farmhouse instead of a regular house, obviously. And then you click on the house and you click on the edit farm. And there you can select if you have multiple types of farm produce to grow. You select the grapes, and you can basically dictate wherever the crop grows. So you can paint it on the ground. Yeah. So it's not like, say, for instance, in Tropical, you plop down the farm and it's like a designated area. Mm-hmm. You could, I guess, I don't know. See, when I put down the farm, I always just put the crop around the farm. I'm not super creative about that.
Okay.
But I don't know if there's anything that dictates where you put the farm. As in where the crops grow. You could put down the farmhouse, but perhaps you put the crops quote unquote across the street or something. I don't think it necessarily has to attach to the house. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It reminds me of I think Anyo does it that way too, where you place the building down, but then you can select where the resources go.
Whereas, Tropico, Tropico has done multiple types, I think. You can put down the farm and it does a designated area, but you can also put the farm down and they'll kind of just grow wherever. Because I know, sometimes the land will change, how well a crop grows, and the farmers in Tropical will actually follow where that good soil is. Yeah,
that was the first one, right?
I think they did it in a couple of versions.
Because I remember later on, I don't know, it's been so long since I played those, but later on it was just a square or something.
Yeah, basically. But I also saw, going into, the screenshots in the community hub on Steam. You can see, obviously, everyone else's screenshots who wants to put up their pictures. And one person has made their village look almost exactly like Napa Valley. So it has the twisting small street, and then there's the vineyard around the twisted street.
Yeah.
And it was so fucking pretty, and I'm like, damn, I can't make anything that good.
Well, that's the thing about this game is a lot of it is just how decorative and visually appealing you want to make it.
Yeah, because that's an interesting thing of how this game works is you put down a house or basically any building, and you have things like flowers and trees and whatnot. And a lamppost as well. And I think you technically have to unlock it for a couple of research points, but it's not expensive, obviously. And then suddenly you can take that lamppost that was just only available to plop down on a piece of land or the street. And if you take that and hover it over a building, depending on where on the building it's placed, it'll actually change shape. So you can put it so that it looks like a little lantern. You could put it over the door and it does like a flat light type of thing. I don't know what you would call it, just an overhead light. And that will still contribute to lighting the surrounding area and streets and stuff. And it's really pretty. And it was just like, I don't know, you have like the flower box and you can put it up on the wall and it'll just be a couple of flowers. Or you put the flower box, obviously, like under a window and it'll immediately change to be that type.
Mm.
And it's so cool because there can be like 4 to 5 different ways of this one item will transform when you hover it over a building.
Yeah, this is a city builder where like you can just go crazy decorating and making it look pretty. Whereas like
it's very about the aesthetics.
Yeah, some of the other city builders like more
was it the word? Utilitarianism?
Utilitarian.
Yeah.
Sure. I
meant like it has
like,
one purpose.
Yeah, I meant more like in some of the other games without mods, you can't really go crazy placing down props and stuff. Like I know for City Skylines, you can place down trees, but you couldn't like go in and like place down like little flowers or like the little decorations like tables and benches and stuff like that until people started modding that in. So you can go crazy with that stuff too. But this game is like, that's part of it. It's built in.
Well, I think another point is that, the whole City Skylines is more of a macro view, and it takes in the whole city. So, like, trying to go in on a micro level is just not really what it's made for.
Yeah, people
Whereas
mod it
this
to
is
do
like,
that, but yeah.
Oh, you can focus on one house. And someone actually took a screenshot. I guess because now they've released kind of like I guess it's an early access, on top of the game being early access, like a walk-free mode.
Oh, okay.
So you can walk around and you can see the people close up and the animals up close and stuff. I don't think you can pet the animals yet. I'm sure maybe someday they'll have that. I don't know. But you can go up to the windows of the houses and you can actually see inside the house. Like I don't think you can decorate inside the house, but someone posted a screenshot of like one of the house's windows and it looked like they actually worked on inside the house.
Wow, interesting.
Like, damn.
Huh. I didn't know that the interiors were modeled at all.
Yeah, me neither. So I'll have to check that out the next time I play it. Plus, I'm curious if it changes because another thing that the demo didn't have, which you can unlock in the regular scenario, I believe, but definitely I unlocked it in the farming scenario. As your city obviously gets bigger, not only do you have the regular workers, but you unlock artisans, and those people live in special houses and stuff.
Okay.
And one of the first artisan buildings you unlock, which is funny because you unlock that building before you unlock adding artisans. So it's weird. You're like, oh, I can't fill this building full of workers. Is this a bug or something? Then you unlock the artisans, and then they work in these special buildings, and they create like luxury items. And one of the buildings is like home goods. So I'm wondering if the houses look different before you unlock that house goods store and then afterwards, or there's also a carpenter and like a blacksmith and stuff.
Yeah.
I wonder if that would change the inside of the houses or if it's not like clearly that deep, but just like a random idea.
And is that in the regular town mode or is this back in the farm zone?
I unlocked it in the farm zone, but once I finished the first town area, I was like, okay, this is the demo area. I want to go to the next one.
Can you, after you do the farm zone, go back to the other town and build farms there?
I don't know. I haven't tried it.
That's the thing that was kind of, I don't want to say weird to me, but like, it's like a segregated area for the farms, but could you, I wonder, and I guess you don't know the answer, like build farms on the other city? Because like...
Well, if it means anything, I mean, I know the tab was there for farms. It was just locked off, so maybe you could go back.
Okay.
But I can't confirm 100% or not. I haven't discovered that yet.
Yeah, I guess for me, it's like, I would, if I'm playing this, I would want it to be able to, build everything everywhere.
Well, there's also the sandbox mode. And you can go, when you create a sandbox mode, you can go into the game settings and like turn all objects on without having to research it, if that's something you wanted to do. And they have like all the options, like unlock all items, unlock all tiers of city, unlock endless money, stuff like that. So if you just want to decorate, by all means.
I guess I would have to just see what the new area in the mode is, because my mind is just full of questions of like, do you still have to worry about like the fruit stalls and stuff in the farm zone?
Yeah, you still make the food stalls and whatnot.
Okay. Interesting.
I guess you'll have to play it then.
We'll see. Maybe one day. I mean, I guess you own it now, so I could whenever I wanted to, but...
Yes. There's another... I know there was when I looked at the menu for scenarios, there's a third one, but I'm not sure if I have to unlock that or if that's going to... Because this is an early access game, so they can add more stuff as time goes on. And hopefully in the future, everyone's basically asking, like, hey, can we mod this yet?
Yeah, that was going to be a question, too. Is there mod support?
Not yet. They're thinking maybe in the future, because they make another game called Station to Station. I think have you played that or not?
I don't. That doesn't sound familiar.
Okay. Well, they made another game. It's like a transport game type of thing. It's voxel based as well. I think they said they allowed modding for that. But because this is an early access, my guess is that they want to finish the base game first.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then they can allow it. Or someone sooner manages to like open up the game. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah.
And like allow modding unofficially.
Yeah, that tends to happen too. But then like when you mod games that aren't finished, mods can really break with each update.
Mm-hmm. But I guess that's just a risky kind of take when you're modding stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I know that. Even for like Fallout.
Yeah, that's official modding and they still break it. So.
Well, no, I'm saying like even before they had official modding, people would mod it. And then they came out with official modding. Oh. Or even DLC. Like before the robot building DLC came out, Automaton, there was mods to make robots and stuff. And then like the DLC came out and the mod author was like, well, I guess I don't need to do this anymore.
Yeah, I've seen that before too.
Okay.
So yeah, if you like town building games on a closer scale than like City Skylines, I would totally recommend this, assuming you're okay with working with voxel graphics, because I know that might put some people off.
Yeah, at first for me, I thought it was going to be kind of annoying, but as you're placing its stuff down and like decorating it, I don't know, it becomes really nice.
Yeah, it's not that bad. And the people, like, they're blocky, but they're actually fluid too. So
we also played a demo together. Well, sort of together.
Yeah, side by side.
I shouldn't remember what it's called, but it's a Star Trek Voyager kind of simulator.
Is it simulate? I mean, I guess story-based simulator.
Yeah, it's kind of like a strategy and story game. I didn't realize it was gonna follow the story so.
Yeah,
rigidly.
It's literally like the first
the first 2 episodes
seasons or whatever.
Yeah, so
that's what I was kind of mostly worried about.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like, oh, you're so okay. Star Trek Voyager. So Star Trek Voyager was the second series after The Next Generation. So they did like Deep Space Nine, then they did Voyager, right? And
I know there's multiples. I don't remember which order they come in.
Basically, the story follows Captain Janeway as she's like hunting the Maquis. And I think the Maquis was like a Splinter Cell group that was fighting the Cardassians. Anyway, they get through some hocus pocus sci-fi jumbo mumbo stuff, gets blasted off into the Delta Quadrant, and they're like millions and millions of light years away from Earth. Like so far that even like their hyperspace stuff would still take them like 70, 80 years to get back to Earth, right? And that's the whole story of Voyager. Like they're stuck out in like uncharted space and they're trying to get back home. I don't remember how many seasons there was in the show. We watched it, but it's been years. But this game, at least the demo, basically is the first 2 episodes almost exactly.
Yeah. And it was actually, oddly enough, I was worried that like, oh, is this game just going to follow the story that we already know?
Yeah.
That being said, it was nice to have a refresher.
Yeah, because like, okay, I know the story, but it's also been so long that I don't remember every little detail.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that was one thing I was worried, or not worried, but wondering, like, how are they going to do the story, the timeline? Like, is it going to be more open-ended? But basically, the game is like, your starship, the Voyager, is not quite as big as the Enterprise, but it's still a huge ship, and it's got, like, multiple floors. And when you're playing this game, it's almost kind of like Sim Tower, in a way, I guess you would say.
Sort of Sim Tower, What was the Fallout game?
Fallout Shelter.
Fallout Shelter, kind of that vibe.
Even like XCOM. XCOM's base building has like, you're viewing it from the side and you're seeing the different floors. And the ship is very damaged, so you have to like repair life support before the people can even like work on those floors. And then you repair stuff like the medical bay and like the
Torpedo Bay, I think, was one as well.
Yeah, the cafe where people go to eat, so like that'll like help their morale.
Making bedrooms and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you have to decide, how many of these crew quarters are going to be like nice crew quarters, and how much are going to be the cheap ones that are just stuffing full of people. And like, it's basically like not quite a town builder, but kind of like a town builder inside
ship builder.
Yeah, inside the ship, where you're like managing your resources and your limited space, because you do have very limited space.
Yeah, there's only so many floors, and
especially now because like so much of it is damaged, and like you can only repair so much. Like even in the demo, there was like one resource that you couldn't get, I don't think.
Yeah, I forget which, like crystal or something.
Yeah, there is. I got confused at some point.
It's a lot of techno babble.
I got confused at one point. It's like, you need dibarium crystals or diblerium something or another.
I think dilithium is one of them?
Dilithium is one of them. And like, I was like, I got to go get some dilithium. And then I go to the planet and it's like dilibrium or some other word that's similar. And I got confused, like, I collected this and I didn't even need it.
Yeah, I did not. I will say one thing. If you don't want to try to understand this technobabble shit they got going on, or you don't remember everything from the show, you can just go by the symbols.
Yeah.
That's what I ended up doing, because I'm like, I'm not going to try and bother to learn how to say this shit.
It has kind of like a Mass Effect system where you start off in I don't remember what the star system is called, but the first star system where you get teleported to. I think it's a dual star system too, which is kind of neat. And there's planets and rubble, so you can scan the planets to see what they have there, and then you can go there to like collect resources. And you need like, let's just say fuel. One of the resources is fuel, the other resources is building materials. And you got to balance that out, like, have enough fuel for the ships and stuff. And when you're going there, there's like a RNG system where you can try to get more or try to get like a safe amount.
Yeah, would you call it vaguely D&D based, like you're rolling for it?
Yeah, it's just RNG. Like, I know for like one of the things is like, you find some like spaceships that are like abandoned, and you can just like pick it apart a little bit, or you can, once you build a torpedo bay, you can do a more risky thing to blow it open and see if you get more that way. But I think, at least from the demo that I played, playing it safe was usually probably fine and the best way to go.
Yeah, I think I tried one of the harder ones, and I didn't win that roll, so I'm like, that wasn't really worth it.
Yeah, you get
and I never
less.
got to the point where I fixed the torpedo bay. I don't think I bothered with it.
Oh, I did.
I don't know if I bothered with any of the weapon stuff.
It didn't really come in too handy at this point. I mean, I'm sure in the full game maybe it'll be more important, but
yeah.
So yeah, you're basically following the story of Voyager. So we're gonna slightly spoil that first 2 episodes, but like, you've been collected up by, I think they call him the Collector.
I don't remember his name.
Or the Curator or something, and he's pulling ships from all over the galaxy, or the universe. No, galaxy. Sorry. He's pulling ships in from all over the galaxy he's trying to find something, and we don't know what yet. It's just like in the show, Jane was like, okay, we're going to go into the ship. And then this is where like it starts tutorializing how these adventures work. So you have your crew, and again, these are the crew from the show. You start with Kim and
Tom Paris.
Paris, yeah. So they get sent into the Collector or whatever, the Curator's ship. And they get there, and it seems like it's Earth. And this is like this hillbilly dude farming and whatever, and like, you're going through like, it's almost like a choose your own adventure, sort of, except you get basically choices. Like, story events are happening, and then you get 2 or 3 choices of what you want to do.
And with those choices, when you select the people that go down on these special missions, they have obviously their different stats
And specialties, yeah.
So sometimes you'll pick and choose whatever you want, but if you obviously have someone whose skill is going to be a higher enough level to actually match what the quest is asking for, you'll obviously do better chance. But I mean, if you want to do like, oh, the quest is asking for 30 points in science, and you have someone who has only 15 points in science, yeah, sure, you can roll that, but you're gonna take a massive chance of losing.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing too, because like when you're going on these away missions, there's a little bit of a I don't want to say guide, but like an estimate of what you might need. So like you might need somebody that's science, or you might need some combat skills, or you might need some diplomacy skills. And there's like all of your characters have, I think, like, was it 3 skills that they excel in?
2 or 3, something like that.
So you have to, like, when you're building your away team, figure out who is good to send on these missions. And then when the stuff starts happening, yeah, it's like, this character is really good at, fighting, or this character is really good at science. So you can, use that to determine what response you're going to do. So you can either choose the RP route where you're like, this is what I want to choose because it's the right thing to do, or because I want to do it. Or you can do the stat thing, and like, this is what I'm going to choose because my team is set up for it.
Yeah, I think I had one of those choices when you go down to the planet with Neelix. I think he was on the team. And one of the choices was to like try diplomacy, which is something I would rather go for. But Neelix had more of, I think it was Neelix or Tuvix. And they had Tuvok. Oh, fuck, whatever.
Tuvix is the hybrid.
Yeah, I know. Oh, jeez. But one of them had this skill that would guarantee rolling 100 on, like, intimidation.
Oh, yeah.
So I ended up going with that instead, even though I'd rather do diplomacy. But
yeah.
I was like, well, I might as well take the option that I can actually guarantee a win.
And there's also an interesting thing of, like, they can team up together. So if, like, your 2 characters maybe alone can't do a science check or an intimidation check, if you team them up together, you can do more than one character doing one thing.
They can add their score together.
Yeah, but each time the character does something, they get, like, a tiny little bit of fatigue, and that, like, lowers their stats for future rolls. So it's kind of like how much you want to push them. And that's like the give and take, the balance of, when you're going through this adventure mode. And I say adventure mode because it's almost like a visual novel when it's playing out.
Yeah, it's not very actiony, although there is later the like battle, and I had no idea what the fuck was going on. Did you get that?
Not only is it not very actiony, it is very like visual novel, but I will say one of my complaints about the game was like the music and like just the vibe. It just had me so sleepy like towards the end.
Well, it also doesn't help that there's a lot of dialogue and there's no voice acting in the demo at the moment. Everyone was, or at least when I checked the community hub, they're like, is there going to be voice acting or something? Because like, yeah, it's just so quiet.
Yeah.
But then like, even if they do voice acting, are they going to be able to get and afford the original voice actors, or are they going to get other people to kind of do like their best equivalent?
Yeah, I don't know, man. They're in for a challenge there.
Hopefully, whichever option they take, they're still using actual people for it. So,
it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. I can't imagine voicing this whole game, especially with like the different options that pop up. But maybe they just wouldn't have voice acting for because when you're picking the different options, it's just narration and pictures. So I guess you wouldn't need a voice actor for that, or like maybe a narrator voice. I guess I don't know what the right answer is here, but maybe just some more interesting music.
They could also go maybe the route of when the text gets read out or something, it's not like a voice, it's just like typing sounds or something. Anything to add something, it's too quiet.
Yeah, it really is. That was probably my biggest complaint, because like...
Also, I wonder if the cutscenes when you're doing a mission or something, they had like the nice kind of painterly scenes, but I'm wondering if those are just like...
stills from the show?
Well, not only that, but I'm just like a placeholder.
Oh.
If they're going to add more to it as the...
I doubt it.
I don't know.
I mean, if they're pulling from the show for the story, because it is literally like the first 2 episodes, they're probably just like grabbing pictures from the show. Because there's that one point in the adventure...
Yeah, so if it's from the show, could they do like FMV?
I mean, I don't know the licensing there. There was one point in the adventure where it's like, okay, pick your 3 people that you're going to send on the away mission. And then like, even though I picked these 3 people, like in the pictures it showed another person that was there that wasn't on the away team. So it's like they're just pulling from the show, and that's fine. Like, I mean, it feels like a kind of low budget game. And not saying that like derogatory or anything, but it just is what it is. But I was interested in this because like it's hard to imagine how you make a Star Trek game that isn't like this.
Yeah, because like the problem is, do you follow the story line by line, or do you make something new with these other characters? But then like, regardless of which you pick, people are going to bitch about it.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I kind of like the gameplay when you're like on the ship and you're building and you have to like decide, ooh, what am I going to build and what resources do I have? And even like on the away missions, like some of the responses you can do will get you resources. Like if you do this, you might get some science points which you can use for research later. Or if you do this, maybe you'll get a little bit of like of the resource for building or whatever. So like not only are you choosing what story stuff you're doing, but like thinking about, okay, what can my people do and what can I actually get out of it? Sometimes you can go for a less safe option because you want the resources. But if you know the story of Voyager, like you're not going to get surprised by what happens unless you forgot the story, which I mean maybe, but
I mean definitely for me.
It does make me wonder, though, now that I've played it a little bit, as much as I loved Voyager, like, would I have preferred a story that, one, I didn't know, so that they can get, like, new characters to, you know, voice actors and stuff. And they could go in interesting new ways. Because, like, there was one point in this story, and again, slight spoilers for the first 2 episodes of Voyager, where you find out, oh, the Collector is basically trying to save or find a new person to lead the Ocampa. And you have to decide, are we going to blow this ship up so that these other people can't like take over and like subjugate them?
Which option did you pick?
Or are we going to be like, we need to use this person to go home? I chose the option, let's go home, because that's not what happens in the show. And I wanted to see if the game would let you. And well, no, it doesn't.
Oh,
something happens and like, oh, it didn't work out. I don't remember exactly what happens. It's just basically like a couple dialogue boxes. And it's like, nope, this doesn't happen. And so you end up having to, you know, blow up the thing so that the opposing force doesn't take over and, you know, subjugate the Ocampa. I'm guessing you didn't try that?
No, like, okay, I obviously remember enough that clearly they didn't take the option to try and go home.
Yeah.
But, like, realistically, I would have tried to save the Ocampa myself as well. So I kind of just went with that option.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I thought about that too, but I'm like, I want to go with a non-canon and want to see how far I can push that.
No, I mean, that's absolutely fair.
But, yeah, it didn't. Nothing really happened. It was more like, well, we tried, it didn't work, so now back to the default option that actually happens in the show.
One other thing I wanted to ask you is, in the game, you have the main dialogue that will advance the story, but there's also like a little bit of the optional ones that always mention that it's optional.
Yeah.
Did you bother checking all of those before moving on, or did you just skip all the optional stuff?
I did a few of them. I definitely didn't do all of them.
Because I did, because like I just like more information.
Yeah, I figured, but like...
It's just funny that they specifically say they're all optional. Like, maybe they'll take that away in the main game. It's just like, okay, I get that they're all optional. You don't have to say it every time. Like,
it's tough because like sometimes in these games where there are dialogue options, people want to, like, there's people like you who just want to hear and get every bit of content out of, like, you know, the talking or whatever. And then there's people that do want to speed through. But then there's also people that, like, they want to get everything out, but they don't know which option's going to move things forward. And you can run into that in, like, old games like New Vegas or something.
I mean, that's fair. I guess, like, I would have preferred just, instead of saying the 3 bottom options are all optional, put, like, an arrow next to the first one saying, okay, this will move the story, and the other ones don't have to say optional every time.
True. That's probably a more
all I'm
elegant
saying.
and more elegant way of doing it, yeah. It was interesting. I don't know how, after playing it, oh yeah, you had mentioned the combat. At some point when you're defending, or when you're at the station trying to talk to the curator, and these other aliens come in and they're going to attack the curator because they want like the systems he has to create water or some shit. So you have to like defend the curator and like fight them off. Mm. And this enters into like this 3D, it's kind of an auto battle thing.
Yeah, it mentions that the ship will attack automatically. You don't have to technically press buttons to attack, but you have to choose, like, there's 4 different systems to attack on the other ship, like shields, engine, weapons, and I forgot the 4th thing.
I think life support.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. And like, I chose the engines for everything just to shut down their ships.
Oh, really? I chose weapons.
And it just like continuously hits it, and I guess there was some other options that you could choose, but I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
You also choose, you basically choose like 3 people to help in the fights. So, like, for example, if you pick Paris, he has evasive maneuvers. Mm. If you pick like Tuvok, he has like some sort of special targeted torpedo shot or something. They're basically like, oh, when you go into a battle, you pick 3 skills that you bring along, but the skills are the people. Mm. I brought Paris, Tuvok, and I think Chakotay. I don't remember what they did, except for Paris's, because he's the pilot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He does the evasive maneuver, which looked really silly. But yeah, it's basically, you choose what to attack, and you can just spam the abilities. I don't know if it really matters when they happen.
Oh yeah, because there's like a countdown, and then when the number goes away, then you can press it.
Yeah, it's a cooldown system.
But yeah, it was like, is this doing anything? I don't fucking know.
It wasn't the most impressive combat thing. I mean, I don't know how they would make it better, honestly. They're the only other space game I've played that has like big ships like this. I think it's called Rebel Galaxy. It might be called something else, I'm sorry. But it's this, a lot of the space games you play, you're like in a little ship, and you're like a one-person thing, you're just shooting forward. In that game, you were in like a big ship, and it was almost like seafaring battles where you would like strafe against things, and like the side of your ship would just shoot a ton of thing out. So like maybe something like that could work, but the way they went for this with Voyager was just like, it's kind of an auto battler, and it makes sense. You're basically telling the crew to attack here, and they do it, and you just kind of, you're Janeway. You're sitting there telling people what to do. You're not controlling the ship yourself.
Yeah, like, I understand that aspect, but I would be like, what if the battle, instead of like, quote unquote, actively hitting the buttons as the cooldown goes away or whatever, that you just like, okay, Paris, you do evasive maneuvers. Tuvok, you do these specific torpedoes. And I don't know if Kim does like the shields or something. Pick them, and then the battle goes, plays its little cutscene, and that's all you choose. Like, it doesn't need to vaguely pretend it's doing something during the battle. Just let it play
because
out.
You don't really have much control anyways.
Yeah, it seems
maybe
useless.
Like a turn-based thing would have been interesting.
That could have worked.
I don't know. It was whatever. It was probably like the least interesting part of this game, honestly.
Yeah, the worst, I would say.
But the other parts were kind of neat. I'm really split on my opinion for this game, to be honest with you.
I'm just kind of, it'll just be interesting to see which group of fans they piss off the most. People are gonna. Because, that happened, not a game-wise, but the TV show, like, Cowboy Bebop. You liked it that it went off on a different direction, and a lot of the other fan group people were pissed that it wasn't a one-for-one.
Oh,
so, like,
the
fuck you gonna do?
The live-action one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I've mentioned this on the show, but, like, most people didn't like the Cowboy Bebop live-action show or the Resident Evil live-action show with Wesker and his 2 kids. And I didn't think they were, like, the most amazing thing ever, but I liked that they were different.
I'm just sad that they can't do the Resident Evil one because what happened.
Because, like, I already know the stories of these, of Cowboy Bebop or of Resident Evil. I don't need a retelling. I want something new. And even though there were some cringe moments, but like I'm willing to forgive some cringe for at least something new and interesting.
Yeah, because if you want the same fucking story, just watch the anime again.
Yeah. Anyway, we're not here talking about that, but like for this, because it is such a faithful retelling so far. I mean, we don't know in the future like what they're gonna change or what options you're gonna give.
Yeah, I kind of figured it made sense that in the demo that they were following the story that way you get all the characters. But once you get all the characters, like once we pick up, at some point 7 of 9, like after that, maybe the story can diverge.
Maybe. Like there's already parts of the game in the UI that it's like, oh, Borg stuff.
Yeah, so obviously we're going to pick up 7 of 9.
That's kind of a spoiler. They shouldn't even have that on the UI.
Well, they could have locked it like Town to City did. But
it's just kind of weird that it's there. Like, well,
there's a preview.
I guess we know that's going to happen eventually, but I don't know. That's a nitpicky thing for me. But again, that's another thing because we know the story and what's going to happen. Like, there's less surprises. And you figure this is a game for people who like Star Trek. So most people probably who play this probably have watched Voyager or at least know some of it. Like, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like you're kind of screwed if you do, screwed if you don't. I don't. They have a tricky.
What would you prefer?
Honestly, having played this now, I kind of wish it was just an all new set of characters. Call it Star Trek, whatever. Like, it's kind of like when we started watching the Lower Decks. I went into the Lower Decks thinking, oh, this is just going to be a funny gag
cartoon,
show.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be for kids because cartoon, and it is not for kids.
And it is funny, but like they still have their own show, their own stories, and like that's interesting. And same for like, I figured you could do something like that and like put some creative writing into a game, still have it set in the Star Trek world, whatever era you want it to be, but like.
Maybe they figured that the MMO already did that.
I have no idea. I've never played the MMO.
I figure it 2 ways for me. 1, they follow the story long enough that we gather all the characters and then it diverges and that would be fun. Or 2, if I could start from the very beginning and not do this whole introduction game and play other characters or whatnot, I personally would have a bias for playing as Kim, and because he eventually becomes commander, or is it commander? Captain of the USS Rhode Island. So I would like to play that.
I think that was an alternate timeline thing that isn't canonical.
Well, the USS Rhode Island, I think, is canonical. Whether or not he's captain of it, maybe that changes.
I don't know. Maybe I misremembered.
I would have liked that.
Because I know there's a bunch of like time travel nonsense that happens, and like sometimes with the time travel stuff, it's like this is the bad future, and like we're doing stuff to prevent that. So maybe Kim doesn't. I don't know.
Or was that actually the like? Okay, remember when we went to go see the movie about what we left behind?
Yeah.
They did like a quote unquote a pilot episode for a new series. Was that in it? Maybe that's where Kim comes in with.
No. Wait. Does. Oh, geez. I don't. Now you're confusing me. I don't know. I thought it was like one of the episodes where it's like, this is what happens because the Borg take over, so there's a resistance and Kim is part of that or whatever. But like, then something happens in the show where they prevent that because obviously the good guys win. Or you know what? Let's not even go that far. Because,
okay. Well, all I'm saying is I want to have Kim command the USS Rhode Island. So.
Okay.
Command, captain, whatever.
Anyway, Star Trek. It's big and complicated. The game is
I don't have enough memory to remember all this Star Trek stuff.
But what about the game? Do you think? Yeah, you're not super feeling it either. It's tough.
No.
It's tough.
If it's just a one-to-one recreation, I'm gonna say no. But that's me. There's gonna be a lot of people that want a one-to-one recreation. So
I'll definitely keep an eye out and see what people think of it once it comes out. But yeah, it's not like a day one purchase for me.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Anyway, we can move on. Last episode, I had mentioned that I was going to start playing Fallout 4.
Okay.
And I did. I ended up going with the mod list called Life in the Ruins. It has a ton of mods, and they're optimized to work together. So, like, You don't have to do a lot of the dirty work of like getting stuff to work together and making sure it doesn't crash.
In theory.
And it's been fun. Life in the Ruins, it's a Wabbitjack installed mod list. I don't know if you know what that is.
Nope.
Wabbitjack is a third-party application that can handle installing mod lists. I think Vortex can do it now too, but...
I thought Vortex was like the official one for Nexus.
Yeah, but a lot of people use like Mod Organizer instead. And Wabbitjack basically will go through Mod Organizer, and it basically handles downloading all the mods. So a person will make a mod list. They'll be like, okay, I curated this list of 300 mods and made sure they all work together and, optimized it and all that stuff, so that other people who want to come back to the game and experience it in a new way, they can just download this list and not have to worry about browsing 100 mods or more.
Yeah, I think they have that similar for Stardew Valley.
Yeah. Lots of games have that now with Vortex, but I did that also with Skyrim. I don't know if I talked about it on this podcast. I won't go too far into it, but when I played Wildlander, that was another mod list where it's they handled, a bunch of visual mods, gameplay overhaul mods, and just a bunch of stuff. And it's fun because this way, when you're going to go back to play it, you can be surprised, because if you're building your own mod list, you know exactly what you're putting into the game.
Yeah, that's true. This can have ooh, I didn't know they added this.
Yeah, all new story and quest mods. There's one quest I ran into for this in Fallout 4 where there's a lot of new interior areas you can explore, and most of them are just ruins. There was one building downtown, and just out of a whim, because I haven't been going into every building, but out of a whim, I'm like, oh, this is not a vanilla building that you can go into. So there's something new in there. What the hell? I'm just gonna go in and see what happens. I go in there, and yeah, there's these 3 characters, and they're talking. These 2 dudes talking to their dad, and they're talking about oh, we have to find the treasure because we're behind on payments to something or whatever. And the dad's like, I think the treasure is in the map for the treasure is in the library, and it's something about the green jewel or whatever. And it's we have to find the story of the shot heard around the world, and basically the guy's like, okay, this is confusing, and obviously the world is dangerous. Do you want to be hired as help to come, to the library with me? And it basically gives you a quest to go to the Boston Library. Now, in the base game, when you go to the library, it's basically just I think there is one person that can send you to the library later. She's like, oh, can you go check the library and clean it up or something, because there's mutants. And when you go to the library, at some point there's robots in there and turrets, and eventually it gets attacked by super mutants. This still happens in this, but now there's another quest that's sending you there. So we go into the library, and we're looking around the library. We're looking for a magazine, or not a magazine, a newspaper. And basically the shot heard around the world could be I think there's 3 different news stories. One of them was a baseball related thing about some home run. Another one was about the shot that kind of started World War I with the Archduke of whatever. And I forget what the third one was. But we're gathering all this evidence and trying to figure out which one of these things has to do with this jewel that we have to find. And that was just an excuse. Okay, now we're in the library, and now I can go do the other thing, the vanilla thing in the game where you trigger the super mutant attacks or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's it was neat. Oh, there's this new thing that I didn't know about, or a new quest or whatever. And that's not the end of it. After I finished out the library thing, I was okay, we got these clues. Now we got to go to this other place to figure it out or whatever. So I still haven't done that. But it's neat to just be exploring the world and have new stuff that's oh, that was not a thing before. Another interesting thing that they added was you know how in Fallout 4 they have the bobbleheads and they have the magazines you can find, right?
Yep.
This completely randomizes it. So now, whenever you had originally could have found a magazine or a bobblehead, now it could be nothing. All the magazine and bobblehead locations have been randomized in a way that do you remember how in the original game you would find a bunch of burnt out junk magazines that don't do anything?
Yeah.
Every one of those spawns could now be the magazines. So there was one point I ran into a random building and I found 2 perk magazines. And it's oh, that's fun. Now it's I'm thinking, oh, I should go where there's lots of magazines because I might find something, or lots of comics. So I had just remembered that yesterday. So I'm going to go to the comic book store downtown and maybe you'll get lucky and find a bunch of them in there. And same for like the bobbleheads, like they can just be anywhere now. Like originally the luck bobblehead is on Spectacle Island. I don't know if you know what that means.
No.
But it's one of the last bobbleheads you can find. It's on Spectacle Island, and you have to go in this like crash ship to find it, and then you get attacked by a Mirelurk Queen. I had just randomly found that somewhere else.
I'm kind of surprised they don't do that from the get-go. I can understand each bobblehead has a specific skill or whatever to unlock with it, but why place them in a very specific
because
area?
They're hand placed and like, you know, balanced around that. But for somebody that's played the game so many times, it's nice to be like surprised going into a building not knowing what you're gonna find.
Yeah, because I feel like they should know that people are gonna replay this 1,000 times. Maybe they also know that people are gonna mod it, so they don't bother. But it just seems easier, nicer to randomize things.
On one hand, yes, but on the other hand, a lot of people like being able to be like, oh, I know where the perception bobblehead. I know that the intelligence bobblehead is in the library. So I can always rely on knowing I'll go to the library, get the intelligence bobblehead, and get one more point in intelligence.
I guess.
Like when I went through the library this time, it wasn't there. But I did find a perk magazine that wasn't there before. It was just like a Tales of the Junkyard vendor or whatever, which is like barter price stuff. But like it was fun that I just found that where, you know, it wouldn't normally be. And I think they've added a bunch of them too. Because like now there's the Vault-Tec bobbleheads usually were like the little male dude. But they've also added like a whole extra set of female ones too. So now you have like double that you can find. And because they're randomized, you don't know where they are. You might not find all of them anyway. So it's kind of nice to have more.
Nice. Yay, variety. I like that more than just, okay, you go here and this treasure chest has this exact item. I'm like, ugh, fine, whatever.
Yeah, so I've been having fun with that aspect of it too. Especially that one time, I think it was in one of the early buildings in Concord, like which is like basically the first little town you visit. I had gone into a random building and just found 2 perk magazines in one building.
Hot damn.
Because it's just random. So it's fun, yeah. I really like that aspect of it. Another neat little thing is, well, I don't know if you would consider it neat, but for me, I love that it rebalances it so that it feels more post-apocalyptic and scarce. So I don't have like a ton of ammo to just... Because in the base game, you eventually get to the point where you just have so much ammo that even if you're firing off automatic weapons, you just never run out of ammo.
Yeah, that's fair.
I know some people like that, and even like I've seen people complain about that in on the Reddits. They're like, oh, I keep running out of ammo. And I'm like, how do you run out of ammo in the vanilla game? I don't understand. So now it's like, I have to be careful. Am I going to fight just some dogs or ferals? Maybe I'll use melee.
Yeah.
Or this gun I've been using, I'm running low on ammo, so I'm just going to put it back in my base and use something else. Like for the shotguns, for example, when you have like the double barrel shotgun, that uses 12 gauge shotgun shells. But if you're using the automatic shotgun, the combat shotgun, that uses 20 gauge shotgun shells. So it's like you're kind of balancing which ammos you're using.
I like the theory of it. Whether or not I could follow through playing a game like that is probably not possible, but I like the theory. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know. It can be, it's one of those things where it's like one person's tedious as another person's like...
fun adventure.
Yeah, because like it's fun to have to plan out like, okay, I'm running low on this thing, so I'm going to take this thing. Another change that I appreciate is there's this new item you can build in the settlements. I think they're called supplies. But basically it's like a bunch of barrels and boxes, and they're supplies. And they take a bunch of resources. But once you put them down, it basically makes it so the settlers just build up the settlement themselves. So you go away, and then when you come back, there's going to be like houses and beds and all that stuff. So you don't have to worry about like building a bunch of stuff for your settlers.
Is it Sim Settlements or something else?
No, that one is... Sim Settlements is different. I don't know if you've ever played through with that, but that's more like a SimCity thing, where you're using a little thing and you can put down like a commercial plot or a residential plot or an industrial plot. And then like somebody gets assigned to it and they build up their own house or their own shop or whatever. That is fun in its own way too. But this is even more hands-off, where it's like, and less scripting, less like stuff going on. It's just the thing you put down, and when you come back, there's buildings.
Okay.
So it's like less of a headache. I enjoyed playing through the game with some settlements, especially because now it has like a story thing to it too. But this mod list doesn't have that included, so that would have to be a different playthrough. That's the fun thing about Fallout 4, though. Like you can have multiple playthroughs where they're so different. And when you're playing a Sim Settlements 2 playthrough, it is a very different because that like it takes up a lot of the attention and a lot of the city building. But this is a little bit more. I don't want to say it leans towards more vanilla, but I guess so in the way that like you're not putting up industrial plots where like people are working factories. It's still basically how it was in the vanilla. It's just taking care of some of the
Tedious
building
shit.
tedious stuff away from you, so you don't have to worry about that. So yeah, it's been harder too. Like it's running on the survival mode, so you have to worry about food and water. But it's also not as easy as in the base game because like you can't just cook away the radiation in the food. Like a lot of the food that you cook until you start perking up to like learn how to cook stuff like more cleanly, it's still going to have a lot of radiation, but at least it'll be safer to eat so you don't get sick.
That
You'll
makes
still
sense.
get radiation, but so you have to like balance like what am I going to perk into? Do I want to perk into like the wasteland cook survivalist where you can learn to cook better, or do I want to, put stuff into other things that are more useful, like, armor crafting or weapon crafting or whatever else. So like I like that the survival is a little bit harder, I guess. It's still getting to the point where I'm like, I basically have plenty of food, but because I still have to worry about radiation, like it's still something I have to balance.
I guess that's what all the Radaway is for then.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. Like in the base game, you end up with so much Radaway and medicine and stuff. Like
I just get over encumbered with it.
you just end up selling so much of it because you have so much. But with this, it does feel like you have to be more mindful of this stuff, which is good because that means when you find it out in the world, it feels good. It feels good to find antibiotics, or it feels good to find, a stim pack because you need them more often. Or ammo, or just, stuff like that.
So it sounds like it balances it better.
Yeah, if you don't mind a more, slightly harder playthrough, where you can't just like roll into a fight with like a million bullets and a million stim packs. Because yeah, in the original games, it can be so easy when you don't have to think about that stuff. And I guess a lot of people don't want to think about that stuff, and fine, whatever. But I like in a game that's about the post-apocalypse and everyone's struggling to survive, that you can actually feel that struggle and not just feel like, I don't know what you guys are complaining about. I have like infinite water and healthcare.
Like, hey, maybe you should, share that.
So yeah, I've been having fun messing around with the settlements. Even though I use the thing where they're building up their own settlements, I still go in and like, I'm gonna put a shop here. I'm gonna set up the trading routes and like, who's guarding what and how they guard and stuff. And one of the neat things that they do is like the Minutemen have been kind of rebalanced in the way that if you're following along the Minutemen quest line, eventually once you become the general, you can like have like little Minutemen outposts, and it's basically like a campfire. But that'll spawn Minutemen that come and protect the settlements. So that'll give you some extra defense posts or boosts, so you don't have to just have like a million turrets everywhere. They also guard your caravans. Like in the original game, when you like put the caravans between your settlements, it would just be one person and a cow. If you have the Minutemen with you, like they'll also, guard the caravan. So there'll be a couple people walking with it, which is nice. It feels more immersive that way.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
Yeah, it's again one of those things where a lot of people, when they play Bethesda games, one of the big things is like immersion.
God, yeah, I know. I tried to do that with the Skyrim stuff.
And it's like, yeah, it feels like it makes more sense that if you are leading the Minutemen, that they're going to be doing stuff like that. And it's fun to see that it kind of had a funny side effect in my game too, because I don't know if you remember this, the Taffington Boathouse. It's right next to what is the name of that town where you have to do the test to get inside of it? Do you know which one I'm talking about?
It's been so long, so no, I'm afraid I don't.
I forget the name of the town, but it's east of the Starlight Drive-In. There's a little town, one of the few already built up towns. Before you can go inside of it, they have it locked up, and they're like, you gotta answer this. You gotta do a test to come in, because we don't want no like. It's basically a play on Blade Runner.
Okay.
Where it's like it's like a Turing test. They ask you a bunch of questions to see if you're a synth or a robot, right? And then you pass, and you can go inside the town. A little bit east of that is the Taffington Boathouse, and it's just covered in bugs. You kill out the bugs, and you can use that as a settlement or as like a player base. So I cleared that out. I set up that place as a base. I ended up putting the Minutemen thing down. That summoned up some Minutemen to come. They hang out at the camp. The funny thing is, though, like a little bit of ways from that was like a gunner encampment.
Oh, no.
And my Minutemen were just like wandering around. And they ended up wandering over to the gunner encampment and just started like fighting them. So I'm like, well, while they're, taking some aggro, I'm going to go in and help clear it out. And it's just fun that, because the game is a bit harder now, it's nice to have other people there to shoot with you, I guess, to be meat shields or to, just take aggro.
Yeah.
Because like, it doesn't make sense that one person could go and attack a fortified location like that.
Yeah, it's
but because there was like 3 other Minutemen and my companions, like it felt okay, I'm going to take this chance to go in there and clear out this area. And that was fun.
Sounds like an actual battle.
Yeah. So that's another thing I really like about this. Like the game is a lot harder, but like there's options to, kind of
mitigate the difficulty.
One of the mods that this has is Man's Best Friend. I think that's what it's called. And it basically makes it so you could always have dog meat with you. No matter even if you have others. You can have dog meat and Preston.
That just makes sense.
I don't like dog meat for multiple reasons. I know that's crazy. A lot of people love dog meat, but I hate how they handle dog meat in 2 ways. One, they just give you him. They make him like the star of the cover art and stuff, and well, not the cover art, but like a lot of the marketing material. You see like the Lone Wanderer with dog meat, and it's like, oh, do you want a dog? Hey, Twitter account, can you pet the dog? Look. And it feels like a marketing thing. It's like, oh, we're just going to give you dog meat immediately. Like, it doesn't make sense that he's just at a gas station and he's just going to be your best friend forever.
And he's like a pure breed German Shepherd.
Yeah, it's just, that leaves a bad taste in my mouth. There's that, and there's the fact that dog meat's AI is unlike any of your other companions' AI.
Well, it is a dog, so it's going to be dumb as hell.
Your other companions, they follow you. Dogmeat, for some reason, has the AI set that he runs in front of you. I guess because you just gotta look at the pretty dog and like, ooh, look at the dog. He runs in front of you, so you can see him running and be happy that the dog is with you, right? The thing about that, though, is the AI is constantly putting him in front of you. And
when you're trying to shoot.
When you're trying to shoot or where you're trying to loot stuff. So, like, I'm walking into a room and there's like, like a locker or something I'm going to go into or a box that I'm going to go in. I'm about to go click on it and fucking dog meat runs in front of it. And I click on dog meat and the character's like, hey boy. And I'm like, no, get out of the way. It's so annoying. I hate it. You're
going to piss off so many animal people.
There is a mod that you can change the AI thing set to him to make him like the other characters, and you can even give the other characters dog meets AI where they run in front of you if you wanted that for some freaking reason. I guess if you're running like with Dance or some other like power armor heavy tanky guy, it might be like, oh yeah, we'll make him run in front of you. That would be kind of useful, but it's just more annoying. I'd rather the followers be behind me and just be support than,
or even just to the side.
Yeah, I am also running with the mod that lets you like run with extra companions because I like to have the robots. So it's like, I'm just going to put Dogmeat back home, let him live his happy dog life with some of the settlers. And I'm just going to take a Gutsy or another robot with me. And so I got a Gutsy. Well, I had Preston, but I actually changed him out recently. But you can also like recruit the Minutemen people. So like I have like just a Minutemen recruit with me too. And it's like, okay, it feels like, oh, you got so many characters that it might be too easy. But the mod adds like hordes too. Like there was one time I ran into like, I swear it had to have been like 10, 12 bloatflies all in a horde of them. And it's just...
That sounds like a good chance to use a flamethrower.
Yeah, although that's very heavy. I don't have a flamethrower that I would use. That's actually not a terrible idea. Maybe I should consider that. That's the thing though, because you got to worry about how much, carry weight you have and stuff like that. But that sounds like fun actually. There was one time I ran into like a horde of the ghouls. Oh, Cambridge. When you first meet the Paladin Dance, they added so many ghouls to that area. It feels like a proper like zombie apocalypse. I was shocked. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go, talk to Dance and trigger that event. I go in there and I swear there was like fucking 20 ghouls running out of that city. I was like, holy shit, we're gonna die. But I did have like, my 3 companions with me, and we were able to handle it just barely. And like, I'm playing on survival mode, so like the characters do like 30% extra damage to you in at least this mode. So it's dangerous, but with that, it kind of makes sense that you're not just traveling on your own. I know the whole like the Fallout thing is like, oh, the lone wanderer. But as far as like
just how you get yourself killed.
Yeah, like RPG thinking or like true adventure thinking, like you would want to have like somebody covering your back if you can. And because in this game you are building relationships, you can technically, perk into lone wanderer, but like the story is you're making friends in this story, and like you can only normally have one person with you. But with this mod, it kind of feels good to have like 2 or 3 extra people with you, because yeah, if we're going to be attacking hordes, it's good to have extra firepower and extra, bodies to take hits. Not just me, who, like, the game instantly gets game over if I die. Anyway, yeah, God, I fucking love Fallout 4 so much, and I'm having so much fun with it. Just being in that world again is so cozy in a way, especially when I'm, like, settlement building and stuff. I can just, like, walk around between the settlements and just, I don't know, there's something so relaxing and just pleasant about it in a way. It's got the perfect mix of like,
that's kind of fucked up, but hey, whatever.
Cozy base building, world exploration, and like adventure that I love, and like the fun humor of the robots and stuff too. Just I don't know, man.
Post-apocalyptic, my cozy space.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep playing it. I think I've already put like
maybe you can add a mod that adds
hours.
like Christmas stuff or something, or holiday decorations. Since we're going into that.
I think they have that in the game already, but the game has its own in-game calendar too, so I'm still technically in November.
Yeah, close enough.
Because the game starts in, I think it's October 26th, 28th, something like that. But eventually when you do get to like Christmas, yeah, you'll see Christmas decorations, and even like Diamond City gets a bunch of Christmas decorations. But yeah, I could talk about Fallout 4 forever, and I think that was most of what I wanted to get out there. It's been fun. The mod list is the Life in the Ruins. It's huge. I think my plugin list says there's 650.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Some of that is like,
which is funny because then I have ideas for you. Like, okay, I guess you already left dog meat in whatever town to live his doggy life, but I think there are mods that change him to like a mutant dog, which makes more sense.
Yeah, I just let him go to one of the towns. Now some of the settlers, when you put a settler thing, can attract kids, which I don't really like. Because, like, I mean, there's kids in the base game already. And some of the settlements that you get, they will have kids. But you can't really do much with them. So I just, like, they're just farming, I guess. I don't know if I can make them do other stuff. I just make them farm. And even the kids themselves are, like, one of the kids had said something, even kids gotta earn their keep. It's like, yeah, get into the farm and start farming some mute fruit for me.
The kids yearn for the farming.
In this world, there's not much else I can do. I guess Diamond City has a school, but yeah, our settlements don't. I basically sent Dogmeat to go live with one of the settlements that has a kid, and like just keep that kid company. Yeah, I love this game, and I'm gonna keep playing it, and I want to keep playing it. Like even right now, it's like I wish I didn't have to go do other stuff. I wish I could just play Fallout 4 right now.
Well, maybe you can let us know how it goes in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, because the main reason I wanted to do this was for like the new story mods, and I've run into some new stuff, but like not the big ones that I've been wanting to try. Because it's such a huge world. I haven't even technically made it inside Diamond City yet. I've just been doing other stuff. I'm at like the combat zone now for Kate.
Yeah.
And I think the mod touches how the combat zone works now. Maybe now it's actually like a fight club in there. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, just give us a couple of weeks of maybe just small little quippets of what's been going on. But
yeah, fair enough. All right. I think that's good enough for now.
Yeah.
Whew.
We'll leave you with that for this week. We'll see you in another week, probably.
Yeah, we're going to change up some things, maybe.
Probably.
All right. Bye-bye.
Be good. Bye. We love you.